morning. Thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hachem, editor of wnzk and host of the Local Connections on U.S. Arab Radio, the best ethnic radio in North America. Today is Friday, October 26, 2018, and we're glad that you're with us. This show is brought to you in cooperation between wnzk and U.S. Arab Radio. Just like to remind you that wnzk is a business magazine, online digital business magazine in the Arab American communities in Michigan. We cover the 4 county areas, and we receive in excess of 2 million hits a year on our popular website. We try to explain and provide information that you don't find somewhere else in regard to what's going on in the business community or how it affects your business. For example, if there is an issue out there in the legislators, in Lansing, in Washington, and at the county level, at the city level, and you don't really, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. You know how they put out this information, not really clear. We try to simplify it as much as possible to make sure that you really understand it. We are in the business trying to make sense out of news that does not make sense and out of news that is misleading. I don't think public officials try to be misleading, but in general, their information is geared to people who really understand the information and for insiders. So we try to simplify it as much as possible. For example, not long ago, the Lansing in Lansing, they're attempting to pass a legislation to force every city to put money for retirement. What does that mean? It means that cities would have to dish up at least $5 to $10 million and to satisfy that retirement funds, because cities and townships, what they did is they promised their employees retirement, and over the years they didn't put money in that account, and now they have, their employees are starting to retire, and by law they have to provide them with that money. So where's that money going to come from? Either they have to cut programs or raise your taxes. So if Lansing is talking about some kind of a law, what we do is we try to make it relevant to you and try to explain to you that watch out, check with your city, make sure that your city council, your mayor, and the elected officials have done their homework and have been putting money away all these years instead of now trying to cut programs and cut their budget or trying to raise your taxes, because it does affect you directly. So this is what we try to do. And if you have any issues you'd like us to take a look at, we'll be more than happy to just send us an email, kh10@comcast.net. You can go to our website, yamichigan.com, and try to get the information and send us an email there. And we'll be more than happy to take a look at an issue. Not, he said, she said, he stole, she stole. We don't do these kind of stories. We don't look into these kind of stories. Somebody else does. For that, you can call Fox News. We really don't do that. This year also, we are going to be putting out a development a magazine later in the spring, and we're looking for some of the, whatever you think they're the nicest homes in the Dearborn Heights area. Let us know. We'll be more than happy to take a look at them, take photos of them, and then we're going to select one home to go on the cover page. So that will be featured on the cover page. So let us know. You can give me a call, 313-819-0101. You can go to our website and contact us at ywmichigan.com and let us know what home is the best home to really, in your opinion. It can be your home. It can be your cousin's home, your family home, a home you sold, a home home in your neighborhood that you think this is really a good, a good home, and it just makes it. We just want to try to get a good collection, and then we're going to select one to feature on the front. So let me know, and if you have a business you'd like to advertise with us in that guide, let me know. Let us know as well. We try to sell a few ads to pay for the cost of printing the guide. I look forward to hearing from you. Again, you can send it, when you log in, or you can call me, or you can log into the website and send us the information. There are a lot of information in the news, today, chiefly some of the stuff that's going on nationwide, the bombs some people are sending to different people. These are critics of President Trump, and somebody is upset with that and sending out these bombs to those critics. And, these things happen. They've happened, and I'm not saying President Trump is responsible for that, but President Trump has the responsibility of changing his tone. His tone has been evoking a lot of violence in our country, promoting candidates who have attacked others. He's telling people to, beat up people and he'll pay the price, he'll pay the cost and all. Promote. Everything starts on the top, and it's very important that our elected officials are held to a higher standard. What we need in this country, and I don't care if he's a Republican, Democrat. I don't have a party affiliation. I vote either way. But we are at the period where our president needs to start behaving presidential instead like a gangster. It's really, really terrible listening to him and just using all of these words and blames and this and that and picking fights with everybody and, blaming the media for everything. And now people sending bombs to the media. That tone has to change. I'm sorry, Mr. President, but you need to change your tone. This is really not going to work. It's very important because we need somebody who can bring us together, not somebody who can, fight us, not somebody who can create more fights and more problems. We don't need that. And you can make a difference. You, the individual, can make a difference. We're going to have an election in 2 weeks. That's November 6th. And then you can go there and vote these people out and vote in people who really can make a difference. In Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer was going to be with us this morning, but she fell ill and she had to go to she could not really be with us. We wish her well. And I was watching the debate between Ms. Whitmer and Mr. Chouette, and it was really unfortunate. Instead of trading blames, let us know what you're going to do for the state. What are your plans? And specifically, I was really taken aback by Mr. Chouette's accusations, and and all nonsense. It's like, what is it you're going to do? It's whether it's Ms. Whitmer or Mr. Chouette. What are you going to do for us? What are you going to do for education? What are you going to do to fix the roads? What are you going to do to maintain the talents here? What are you going to do to change and move the state forward? How are we going to compete globally where we don't have the talent to really do the jobs that we need done? All of these things. Look at our insurance, car insurance. It's just unfairly. People pay $3,000-$4,000. We're paying $3,000-$4,000 for a couple cars for nothing. For nothing. We're not getting any protection whatsoever. And if you want to get a protection, you're going to have to pay a lot more. Why? Why do we? And then the education system. Michigan has one of the most failing system in the country. Why is that? We need somebody who can address all of these issues instead of putting out negative ads, instead of standing up there for a debate and just pick on personal issues. You should see when they check these facts for both candidates, they didn't do that well. And it's really unfortunate. We want somebody who can tell the truth. We want somebody who can do things. And with us this morning, Adel Mozip, who's is one of U.S. Arab Radio's radio hosts and a candidate in the election. He's also a dear friend and one of the most active people in this community. The other issue is this caravan thing that is going on in South America. About 6,000 people want to come to the United States and apply for asylum. First, I think these people should stay where they are. Should stay, where they come from. If they really want to make a change, they can make a change in their own country. First. Second, it is just normal. People want to apply for asylum. They can apply for asylum. Now the president wants to send the troops there. What are you going to do? You're going to shoot them? You can. It is our right to say we don't want you in this country. I understand that, and it's our right to deny all of their applications. But we can do it humanely. Not we don't have to be bullies. We don't have to We don't have to do any of that. And then the president and Republican candidates are using this caravan thing to focus the election on immigration instead of focusing it on more important issues. We already have a plenty of laws for immigration. We don't need to really make it as and then pack in a lot of lies in there. Before we used to say criminals and drug dealers, now we say Middle Easterns, and everybody should be scared. It's really unfortunate when somebody like the president uses platform to spread hatred and racism, and I don't know if you can call it racism. Some people can object to that, but hatred and divisiveness, and it's really unfortunate. Good morning, Adel. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, Khalil. How are you? Sorry,
Good. I really appreciate it. We were talking earlier on what's really going on in the country and some of these the tones and the political rhetoric that the president and some of the candidates are really spreading around. And what's really fostering all this violence. 10 people have received pipe bombs in the mail, and we're not saying that the president really did that, but his rhetoric really could be. We don't have the evidence. Could be really inspiring people to be violent, and that violence that comes from the top is not really helping us. What do you think?
Absolutely, and unfortunately, our country hasn't been this divided, and the amount of rhetoric that we hear, even from the top leadership, is very unfortunate. However, Khalil, I want to say, politics all stay local. So, and they start local and they get out. Yeah. So, fortunately, we do not have that kind of thing in our local race. Everybody is very respectful, and they bring their credentials and they talk about themselves instead of attacking others. And this is what we need to do. We need to be just focusing on what everybody brings to the table instead of you didn't do this and you're not, and bringing people down. And that's not what politics is about. Politics is being about public service and serving the people instead of being bullies out there and making a mockery. And it's very unfortunate for the kids to see this. This is not what we're raising them to be.
Exactly. Did you watch the debate between Whitmer and
I did. Yeah, I did watch the replay. I didn't watch it live. I was actually at another event that day. It was one of the meetings for the Democratic Club, so I was there, and I missed it live. But I did watch the replay, and I saw how both candidates, unfortunately, were just, in every question, they would just go ahead and try to score some points and attack each other. And I wish both of them just focus on their own records, and they talk about themselves, and they think that, by beating on the other person, this is how I'm going to win. No, you're actually turning off voters, at least for the majority of them. I know some people like that. Right. I know some people kind of like, the fighting that's going on, but a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, are very turned off by, you ask them a policy question and then they turn it into an attack thing.
Exactly. What happened to the time when people used to get up and say, here's what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. And let us pick the person who we think is best for this job. It's so basic. Just basic. It's unbelievable. It's you listen to it, and then these people really getting way off of the of the subject. We're going to be talking more about the local election, and specifically the Dearborn Schools election, and we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
Life is a nonprofit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
It's all in one grocery store, and that store is Zamzam Fresh Foods Market. Zamzam Fresh Foods Market offers fresh vegetables, halal meats, a great fresh bakery, as well as nuts and spices and much more. They also offer special deals every Wednesday. So don't forget to ask for your favorite foods, as shish kebabs are ready to go. So please stop by Zam Zam Fresh Foods Market at 24065 Orchard Lake Road in Farmington Hills. Their phone number is 248-476-0300. Again, that phone number is 248-476-0300. And they are open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Zam Zam Fresh Foods Market is your one-place stop for all your grocery shopping needs and your favorite foods.
When you're looking for the best in optical care, Dr. Imad Nakash is your doctor to see. With years of experience and thousands of successful procedures performed, you can trust your eyes to Dr. Imad Nakash. See Dr. Imad Nakash and his professional staff for your eye care needs. There's 2 locations to serve you. In Hazel Park, call 248-336-3937. 248-336-3937. In Rochester Hills, call 248-299-3937. That's 248-299-3937.
Ziad brand. Quality products from our family to yours. Ziad Brothers Importing offers the finest quality products, including brands like Sultan, Kraft, Nestle, Hook, Rico Picon, Donna, and many more. Ask your retailer to carry these fine products because you deserve the very best. For more information, visit our website at www.ziad.com. That's www.ziad.com. Ziad, quality products from our family to yours.
The Rama Relief Foundation provides humanitarian aid into areas inside of war-torn Syria, as well as aid to the refugees who have fled to the neighboring countries in the Middle East. The foundation offers food baskets, container shipment, mental health, education, soup kitchens, and more. Go to ramarelief.org or call 248-990-4247. Any donation amount made to Rama will go to sustaining many lives. Call now 248-990-4247.
This is Khalil Hachem, editor of Michigan.com, and this is the local connections. Earlier, we've been talking about the local elections and various issues as well, and we've been talking to Adel Mozip, who's a candidate for the Dearborn School Board. And before we continue, Adel, we're going to take a quick call from our friend Jerry. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Mr. Khalil Hachem, and good morning, Mr. Adel Mozip. Khalil, I want to say thanks to you to put the election your first priority, and thank you to your radio talk show, and to Ms. Layla Al-Husseini, and I encourage all the other local radio stations from Middle East to involve in election, because there is only a few more days left. So I do encourage you through your radio talk show for everybody to go and to vote. Now, Mr. Khalil Hachem, I want to direct my talk to Mr. Adel Mozip. Mr. Adel Mozip, I am very proud of you. You are one of the most activist person in our state, in our country. And I wish if there was 10 more like Adel Mozip. From the deepest of my heart, I wish you the best, Mr. Adel Mozip. Now, my question to you, Mr. Adel Mozip, about the debate between Ms. Gretchen Whitmer and Mr. Bill Schuette. Instead of they are talking about their resume and personal record, they should put the cards on the table and tell the citizen of Michigan, what you could do for me about education, about crime, about drugs, about weapons. Look, the crime is happening in the middle of the daylight. People scarp and hijack in the gas station, our Middle Eastern gas station and stores. They've been robbed overnight. A bigger truck coming with it and jump to the ATM machine. They are causing, if I could call it, domestic terrorism. We want those people focus on the first priority, the education in the state of Michigan. 365 public schools closed in Detroit last year. We want them to focus on the important issue, what you could do for our citizens. And I'll leave the answer for you.
Thank you.
And I wish you the
Jerry.
best, Mr. Adel Mozip. And thank you, Mr. Khalil Hachem, for taking my call. And God bless you.
Jerry. Thank you. Thank you. What do you think, Adel? I mean, he makes a really good point in regard to education.
For sure. I mean, the state level of education support that we get has been dwindling over the years, and unfortunately, legislatures have been also playing with curriculum for a while, where they do change curriculum on our students, and it's very unfortunate. And that's why you need strong people on local boards who are willing to go to Lansing, who are willing to lobby for funds, and making sure that those funds stay in public schools. Because lately, they even lost a case where they actually gave away funds for private schools from public dollars money, even though that goes into state-mandated rules and applications and tests. But we should never send our money to private schools. Private schools are meant to be private. They're meant to be self-sustaining.
Exactly.
They should sustain themselves. Exactly. And we're taking this money away from public school and redirecting it to private schools. So that's very unfortunate, and that's why I hope people really pay attention to the education policies of each candidate, whether they're running for state representative or state senate, or they're also running for governor. They need to look at what they have as far as education policy and what are they going to do for our schools. You mentioned earlier, Khalil, that Michigan is not doing so well nationally, and that funds is a big issue. When you have a shortage of teachers, when you have teachers that are leaving the profession and going something else because they could make more money elsewhere, then that's a problem. When you have the brightest minds who want to teach, but they find out, your salary will start at $39,000 a year. Look, I'd rather do something else and make $60,000, $70,000 a year starting salary. So we're not really having right priorities. We're not really paying our teachers and giving them also the respect that they should deserve.
We're not even attracting the most talented people for the most important job, which is educating our children.
And unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
And that's why it's very important to maintain the public education that we have in our public schools, and also expand on those and making sure that those teachers are retained, they're being respected, and they're given all the resources to succeed.
Absolutely. You mentioned something earlier, which is, everything is local, and then you're running for a local school board. Tell us about, what is the situation at the Dearborn Public Schools, and what is it that you want to accomplish if you win?
Sure. Well, one of the things that I want to talk about, Khalil, is what is the school board? Because a lot of people kind of put it aside, or they don't even give it the attention that it deserves. And it's actually one of the most important posts in your local government. It actually affects you on a daily basis. I'm not saying governor seat is not important, but the local seat is very important to you as a taxpayer, as a parent, as somebody who lives in a neighborhood. When you have strong school boards and strong city council, then you have strong neighborhoods and high property values. That translates proportionally equally. So the role of the board is to make sure that they're responsive to the aspirations and to the ideals of their constituents. And they also allocate budgets for the different programs that the district have. They oversee the superintendent, and for Dearborn, it's very unique because you serve on both boards, the school district, the P-12 school district, and you also serve on the Henry Ford College Board of Trustees.
Let's take a short break, and we'll be right back.
If you have immigration questions dealing with wanting to visit the United States, wanting to work in the United States, wanting to study in the United States, or bringing your family to the United States, you need to contact Lagana and Associates Law Firm. Lagana and Associates Law Firm practice areas include family and business immigration and deportation. Dealing with cases overseas in the Arab region, for free consultation, please call their WhatsApp number at 001-617-283-1018. Lagana and Associates Law Firm offers experienced guidance that will help you with your legal needs as well as navigating the legal system successfully with confidence. Again, their number is 1-617-283-1018. 1018. Kashat's Mediterranean Market and Shish Kebab offers a great array of your favorite Mediterranean meals. Meals range from lamb specialties, shawarma sandwiches, seafood dinners, and they offer special big trays of your favorite food, plus much more. Kashat's Mediterranean Market and Shish Kebab address is 32839 Northwestern Highway in Farmington Hills. Their phone number is 248-538-9552. That number again is 248-538-9552, and the supermarket is open from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Kashat's Mediterranean Market and Shish Kebab will definitely leave you satisfied.
The Rama Relief Foundation provides humanitarian aid into areas inside of war-torn Syria, as well as aid to the refugees who have fled to the neighboring countries in the Middle East. The foundation offers food baskets, container shipment, mental health, education, soup kitchens, and more. Go to ramarelief.org or call 248-990-4247. Any donation amount made to Rama will go to sustaining many lives. Call now 248-990-4247.
Ziyad brand. Quality products from our family to yours. Ziyad Brothers Importing offers the finest quality products, including brands like Sultan, Kraft, Nestle, Hook, Rico Picon, Donna, and many more. Ask your retailer to carry these fine products because you deserve the very best. For more information, visit our website at www.ziyad.com. That's www.ziyad.com. Ziyad, quality products from our family to yours.
Welcome back, and thank you for being with us. We're talking to Adel Mozip, and we're talking about the local school board election. Adel, earlier you're telling us a little bit more about the school board. If you want to continue, please.
I was just saying that the role of the board is to be responsive to the aspirations and ideals of their constituents, and also to allocate the budget. And we have a unique system in Dearborn where board members serve not only on the K-12, but they also serve on the Henry Ford College Board of Trustees. So it's double duty for them. They allocate budget, they oversee the president of the college, and they also oversee the superintendent and approve all of the contracts and policies that go before them. And if there is an issue that happens, usually that comes before the board if it's a major issue. Now, I want to say that there are 2 open seats for the 6-year term, and there are 8 candidates running.
Okay. Yeah.
And then for the 2-year term, it's already, you only have one person running, and she's an incumbent. And, she has that already decided. So it's only the 2-year terms where people really need to make their research. As I always champion, vote411.org, a service by the League of Women Voters, and it gives you information, side-by-side comparisons between the candidates, how they answered the League's questions, and where they stand on issues.
Wonderful. Adel, could you stay with us for a little bit? Dr. Glenn Maleyko is on the line, and we wanted to talk to him briefly. He pulled out of a meeting to be with us. We wanted to talk to him briefly about the substitution teacher situation that some districts are dealing with. Could you stay with us?
Sure.
Okay. Good morning, Dr. Maleyko.
Good morning. How are you doing, Khalil?
Good. How are you? Thank you so much for being with us. Myself here and Mr. Adel Mozip as well is with us on the line. We've been talking earlier about the election, and we want to thank you for taking the time to brief us a little bit about the situation that took place recently, where the company that used to supply substitute teachers decided to quit, and how you're adjusting and what's the plan.
Sure. Good morning, Adel. Good to hear from you. I was listening to your part of the interview. So, yes. So basically, what happened? I mean, we've been with this company for I think about 13, maybe between 12 to 14 years. I remember it as a principal when I was at Salina as a principal back in I think it was around 2005, somewhere around there when we moved to this company. Most of the districts across the states have these service provider companies that they contract, and they basically provide substitutes, and it allows the substitutes to work in multiple districts. And also, there's at the time there were some savings for the district because you don't have to pay money into retirement. That's the big thing. So you can literally save just under 30% of what you otherwise pay. So we were very disappointed in how this company, PSG, like I said, we've been with them for well over a decade, and we've been a customer, one of the largest customers for them probably in the state. And I believe there was approximately 131 districts affected in the state. I'm not positive on that number, but I heard that around that number from the news report. And basically, they gave us no real formal notification. It was 5 o'clock on Monday where I get a call from my business director saying we got a problem. And when I heard about it, we had the potential for up to 190 classrooms to be vacant. They basically went out of business, and they had notified, I guess, the subs via email or some kind of letter, and they sent some generic emails to us at, I think myself and my team got it like 4:30, but I wasn't even in the building, so they really didn't even have the courtesy to pick up the phone and call us or any communication. So it was very poorly handled on their end, and in fact, we're very disappointed in them. Having said that, I got to tell you something. Dearborn community stepped up. I called an emergency meeting at 7 o'clock with my cabinet. We came up with a plan of action. I informed the Board of Education we have a potential crisis. My cabinet team came together. HR really took the lead. Ms. Bankhead, Ms. Ali Bazzi, other executive directors, and basically we came up with a multi-level plan. So basically what we had to do was we had to get paperwork in to legally hire these employees directly to us because they're technically employed by that company and we contract that company. So legally we couldn't just have them show up. We'd have all sorts of liability issues.
Sure.
Including criminal background checks and things of that nature. So what we did is we sent out messages and we put out communications to parents. We sent out a robocall to staff. We asked our current staff if at all possible, maybe if they were going to be absent, we were hoping that some would, if at all avoidable, they could come in. We canceled all professional development. So basically we had scheduled professional development. So that eliminated a number of subs that would be needed. And then we had the subs, we asked them to show up between 7, I think it was we had our team there at 6 a.m. So we had multiple people at central office that came in 2 hours early, some of them, and they started processing substitutes. We had a whole system, almost like a job fair. I was actually there helping to process as well. I used to work in HR, so I know how to process all the I-9 forms and whatnot. Sure. And I got to tell you, my whole staff came together. We had people from multiple departments. The buildings did an outstanding job, too, the principals. The parents were involved. PTA actually sent volunteers out to different buildings just in case we needed support. And so I ended up driving to about 17 buildings after I was at central office helping the process. And I got to tell you, there was no issues. I talked to the principals. Man, I was pleasantly surprised. And really the credit is the team. It's the community. It just shows you that when there's a potential crisis, everybody in Dearborn steps up, comes together. We had no issues whatsoever. Safety. There were some delays in getting the subs to the building because they had to go to central office. So some of them didn't arrive on time. But that's where the parents and others helped out in the initial morning. So, I can't say enough to the community, my administration, the teachers, the principals, central office, and then the parents coming together. And actually the subs. To be honest, the subs, they came in and they were very cooperative, and they seemed to be very appreciative that we got them back to work.
Great. How many of these substitutes do you depend on, percentage-wise?
So we have close to 500 that are in the system. It doesn't mean 500 work daily. We probably average anywhere between 80 to 150 on a daily basis because they can get called into different, districts as well. What happens is they have to get cleared to work in our district as well. And then by state law, we have to hold the fingerprints. So that was an advantage for us because the state changed the law maybe 6 years ago where the company couldn't hold the fingerprints for the criminal background. So we had all that in our database. So what has happened actually is because of this being in the press on Channel 7 and 4, and people seem to be happy with how it was handled, it's actually helped our recruitment for substitutes. We actually now have more substitute teachers that are signing up for us. Now, not that we wanted to go through this, but I always look at the glass half full. There's been a positive from this as well, you know, as people have come together, and now we've hired additional subs.
That's good. How many did you hire?
You know, my understanding is that I don't have the exact count, but that day we had processed about 150. So I think we're now getting well over 200 that we're processing, you know, just in Dearborn. And I'd have to get back to you on the specific number because they're continuously calling into HR.
Sure. And these are like different grades and different level of, you know, different schools and so forth and so on.
Yeah, well, what happens now is, like, years ago when I started subbing in 95, you couldn't sub unless you had a degree and you were working on an education degree, a certification. Because of the shortage across the state, the standard has lowered, so now you don't have to be certified or have a degree. You have to have 60 credit hours. So most of the subs that work are non-certified, but they get these permits to work issued by the state of Michigan. So you don't really have as many that are certified as teachers that could work full-time because most of them are getting hired because of the state shortage right now.
Does that concern you that they're not getting certified?
Well, it does, but you also need people supervising classrooms, and it's not a Dearborn issue. This is a state and national issue. I don't know if you've heard some of the statistics on teacher shortage, but the Michigan Department of Education is not certifying as many people as they had, you know, a decade ago. And so it does. It concerns me in the field of education, meaning we continue to have retirements, and we now have like over 500 of our teachers of 1,500 that are full-time in the union that are within their first 3 years. So 1/3 of our staff is within their first 3 years working in the district, which is a huge number of teachers retiring and new teachers that are coming in.
What can we do really to attract more people to teaching?
Well, there's some things we're doing. I promote it. I promote the education field. I'm out there promoting careers. We can also work within our schools. We are working on hopefully opening next year a pre-education early college at Henry Ford College that would be run by Mr. Majid Fadlallah in cooperation with Henry Ford. That would allow us to recruit students to go into Henry Ford and get an associate's degree in pre-education. Basically, we would be paying for 2 years of their education. I think we just got to get out there, you know, as a combination in the education profession, the parents, and just promote this as a noble profession. I got into it years ago to make a difference, and I think it's a value. It's an important profession in our community, and so we just need to. You know, the politicians can help too. A lot of times they pass legislation that creates negativity and a low morale. Not our local legislators from Dearborn. They're with us, like Abdullah Hamoud, David Kanizik, Morris Hood. But the ones at the state level, they've often passed legislation that targets teachers or is not advantageous to teachers.
Yeah. Maybe, you know, maybe also, I mean, there are a lot of professionals who, you know, have had rich, you know, experience in careers and would like to teach, but they don't really have the training to teaching, and that's like a 6 months training. Maybe this is another thing that you may want to take a look at, you know, providing that 6 months training to allow them to get training, and then they become really valuable resources because they can teach both the curriculum and the life training that children need.
Yeah, and I know the state is looking at these different options of professionals, so the state has been exploring that, but that's definitely a good idea.
Yeah. I really want to thank you for being with us this morning. Adel, do you have any questions?
Well, I would like to thank Dr. Maleyko how the situation was handled quickly, and this is, again, the spirit of Dearborn and how people come together when there is a crisis. And I wish just that we learn also from this for next time, obviously, to have a plan B if something like this would happen, if we have one of our major contractors just abruptly close their doors.
Yeah. Dr. Maleyko, I want to thank you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I want to thank you for No, I just say thank you, Mr. Mozip, and I totally agree. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. I really want to thank you for taking the time to be with us this morning, and we appreciate all your hard work and how you stepped up, you, the district, the community, everybody, to deal with this issue. We really thank you for that.
All right. Thank you very much, and thank you for bringing me on the show, and I appreciate you promoting the education profession in Dearborn schools.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. What do you think, Adel, of that? I mean, this is really, companies just decide to quit and then create. Luckily in this case was positive, but as you said, there needs to be a plan B. Also, take a look at who is really educating our children.
Right, and as Dr. Maleyko said, the company has been there for a decade, so I would definitely look into how their contracts were being renewed, and are we monitoring their progress and how we're doing as far as substitute teachers, because there are other companies that you can pursue, and you can also go through the bid process and see if when their contract is up for renewal, to see the health of that company. And something that I'd like, if I get elected, is to make sure that all of our running programs and contracts are being reviewed on an annual basis. The same way that we're reviewing now our teachers, giving them their reviews and their annual performance reviews, we should do the same thing about our running programs and to see if they're effective or not, and base funding based on that, and allocate funding based on how effective they are. And if they're not effective, then you would find other ways for them to be more effective.
Not only that, is also holding them accountable to, right. In the contract, it should say that, there's a certain amount of, you need to let us know, 2 months, 3 months in advance of anything like this. And if you don't, there are certain consequences. You can't just, close doors and say,
well, unfortunately they did. And the thing is, I think Dearborn Schools also was one of their largest clients. And that's something to look into, is not to put all your eggs in one basket,
Exactly.
If there's a possibility of getting, a mix of different competitors to actually service the district, where you can have that flexibility to move in. But I'm really glad that the district stepped up and temporarily had these people on now temporarily contracts. And we should, this would actually make it more easier to attract people, and you have more say of who wants to be a substitute teacher when you're doing that directly.
I did train with this, I wanted to write a story on it, and I did train with this company a little bit, just wanted to see what they're doing. And I felt like they weren't really teaching you a lot. They were just teaching you the legal aspects of, so you don't get in trouble legally. So, I'd like to see even substitutes go through more rigorous training so they can provide that teaching, the necessary teaching that's really needed to, instead of just being a babysitter in the class, and make sure that you don't get in trouble legally.
And the thing is Dearborn, when you look at the number of substitute teachers, it's relatively high. So I'd like to know why that's the case. That's probably a question, for the administration, is to say, why there's a lot of teachers who are calling off or don't show up, and then you would have to find a substitute.
Exactly.
So if the morale is down, probably that's one of the reasons. But it's very important, to have, obviously, teachers be there in the classroom every day, but you do have certain situations where people need to take days off, or they're on vacation, or they need to, take care of some relative, or if their children are not doing well or not feeling well, then they would have to take that day off. But I would like to also stress on the importance of having somebody as a classroom teacher who will come and teach, not just stay there and be like, do your homework or do whatever. And
like a babysitter,
Right. Yeah. And with preferably somebody who has some background, and it would be great if that person has worked and has a life experience to share with the students. That would make the time more meaningful for them instead of, this is open playtime.
In the time remaining, just we have like a minute or two, please let us know about your campaign and why should people vote for you.
Sure. Thank you, Khalil. Well, this is my second time running, and I'm an experienced technology professional. And for those who are in the Dearborn area, they know me as somebody who's been very active with many civic organizations. I'm the current secretary of the Eastbourne Neighborhood Association. I chair the scholarship committee for Rotary and gave away more than $60,000 to students in scholarships. I was also the president of AAYSB, a nonprofit organization to promote higher education in our community. Very active in my swim school and its PTA, and part of also the League of Women Voters with my wife. I have an MBA from Wayne State University. I served on 2 statewide commissions, both the Commission on Middle Eastern American Affairs and also the Environmental Justice Work Group. I taught students for 3 years, and I had an amazing time teaching students technology, leadership, and financial literacy. And for those who know me, I'm somebody who is definitely an upstander who stands up for the parents and they're being an advocate for them and for their issues. So I hope to earn their vote. My priorities will be definitely on student safety and student academic achievements, to make sure that we're being responsive to the parents and connecting them with our schools, and to make sure that we're fiscally responsible. As I said, we have to review all of these running programs and see how effective they are. And college readiness is a hot issue that I'd like to look into. Our numbers are not they're not great at all. And I'd like to make sure that our students are either ready for college or ready for a career once they leave our district. So that's me. The name again is Adel Mozip, and if you'd like to know more information, the website is Adel, ADEL, MOZIP.com, or you can reach me on any of your favorite social networks.
Adel, I want to thank you so much for being with us, and I urge everybody to go out and vote. But if you're specifically in that district, and if you're specifically in that district, and I've known Adel for some time now, he really has the credentials and has the resume to be on that board. And, I think all the candidates are wonderful candidates, but there are those who have more experience and more knowledge, and Adel is one of them. He deserves to be on that board, and I hope that you consider him for that. So good luck to you, and thank you so much for
I appreciate it, Khalil. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
تعرفوا شيء، احنا كتير بنهتم بالمقبلات بالأكل الشامي،
واحنا بنهتم بالبهارات والتسبيكة في الأكل المصري،
واحنا نهتم هواية باللحوم وجودتها بالأكل العراقي، واحنا في مطعم عشتار نهتم بيكم. اعتمدوا علينا أيا كان. نحن في عشتار نعرف أن لكل مذاق أسرار، فنحن نقدم أجود أنواع اللحوم من ملحمة عشتار الواقعة على 56865 راين رود.
عشتار، قصة حضارة ترويها لكم أطباقنا المميزة في كل زيارة.
تفضلوا بزيارتنا في 3625 East 50 Mile Road, Sterling Heights.
مطعم عشتار بإدارة فادي بهنام وعلي البغدادي. 586-698-2585 586-698-2585.
Life is a nonprofit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
New concept, products and design.
بإدارة ناجي عبود. هل تحتاج فتح مطعم؟ هل تحتاج فتح محل المواد الغذائية؟ هل تحتاج تصاميم وخرائط؟ اتصل بناجي عبود على الرقم 734-744-9796. هل تريد شراء معدات المطابخ والمطاعم وبأسعار مخفضة وتسهيلات بالدافع؟ اتصل بناجي عبود الآن على الرقم 734-744-9796. خصم 5% عند الشراء ب75,000 أو أكثر على كافة المواد. لمزيد من المعلومات زوروا موقعهم الإلكتروني على
www.newconceptproducts.com.
أو زوروهم في موقعهم الجديد
31185 Schoolcraft in Livonia.
ناجي عبود، العلامة المميزة في عالم المطابخ.
When it comes to reproductive medicine, IVF Michigan Fertility Centers are the recognized leaders. With locations in Bloomfield Hills and 5 other cities in Michigan and Ohio, IVF has experts in all aspects of the field. As a founding member of IVF Michigan Fertility Centers, Dr. Nicholas Shama is one of the leading reproductive endocrinologists in Michigan and Ohio. Dr. Shama has performed over 10,000 IVF cases and has helped thousands of couples fulfill their dreams of parenthood. American board certified in both obstetrics and gynecology and reproductive endocrinology and infertility, Dr. Nicholas Shama is a very caring, compassionate, expert physician that understands not only the medical but also the emotional toil of infertility on his patients. When it's time, get personalized care from Dr. Nicholas Shama at IVF Michigan Fertility Centers in Michigan and Ohio. Call toll-free 855-952-9600, 855-952-9600.
Welcome back, and thank you for being with us. We've covered quite a bit of topics this morning, and specifically the election. I'm going to be with you on Election Day, and that is on November 6th. And I hope that you all go out and vote. I want to thank Adel for being with us and wish him good luck in the election. Again, Adel is one of our community's most hardworking people with a lot of experience in education, as you heard him saying. Also, I want to thank Dr. Glenn Maleyko for coming on the show as well to explain this dilemma that they faced, and we hope that the district structure a better a contract next time, and as Adel said, evaluate more and set up some kind of mechanism where this thing doesn't happen. I mean, somebody all of a sudden tells you, folds overnight, and then you really don't get enough people to go out and, to come and be in the classroom. It's not really a pleasant situation to deal with. But as Dr. Maleyko explained, they rose up to the occasion, and then the district and the community all worked together, and this is really a great story to tell. So congratulations to Dr. Maleyko and everyone for doing that and for passing this tough test. Other topics, we hope that we get a lot more civility from our politicians, specifically whether it is at the state level, at the local level, the state level, and specifically at the national level. We like to see a lot more civility coming from the White House, a lot more civility coming from President Trump himself, and stop this nonsense urging people to be violent. If you study the tone, you can hear it, and it's really. I worry when my children are watching TV and he comes on TV, because you never know what he's going to say. Sometimes I change the channel, and now my children, 12 and 7, know that I'm changing the channel because I don't want them to hear our president speak. It's because you don't know what he's going to say. Sometimes he says profanity. Sometimes he says, you never know what he's going to say. It's really, and I don't care whether he's Republican or Democrat. He's our president, and we have to respect him, but he needs to respect himself first, and that's not happening. So we hope that happens and that changes, because we need someone who brings us together, not someone who divides us. The other thing in the news, which is the other mania this week again, is the Lotto, and the Powerball is reaching $1 billion again. Last week, or this week rather, I think it's on Tuesday. The Mega Million, I'm trying to think of the name. The Mega Million reached $1.6 billion, and somebody in I think South Carolina, I believe, one of the Carolinas, somebody in a small town won that, and we congratulate them, and I hope they spend it in a good way. And whether it is one person or a group of people, but now it's again. So don't be, I play the Lotto every now and then, but don't be crazy. It's still, don't spend money you don't have. The chances of winning the Lotto, something like that, is unbelievable. You have a chance of getting hit by lightning or something like unbelievable, but it could happen. And we wish you good luck, and we hope that you win and spend it wisely as well. NBC did a really great story recently. I remember when I was in Florida, we did I used to write for the St. Petersburg Times, and we did a story on all these people who won the lotto and how it changed their lives. And then we found out that most of them, it changed their lives for the worse, not for the better. You know, they had all these family members and friends and people they know, but they're not really friends, people they know that sue them for no reason and things like that. And you know, other people who spent it foolishly and really didn't take advantage of that opportunity that, you know, comes to certain people once in a lifetime. But if it happens to you, we hope that you do it and you do it correctly. And then NBC did the story on these people who used the lotto money to benefit their community and their causes, and they did a really good job. And we hope you do the same. Lastly, and before I leave you, I just want to remind you, the housing market is doing really well. This is a great time to buy because it slowed down a little bit. Now we can negotiate more with sellers. We can get you a good price. And if you're a seller, this is still a great time to sell your home before the end of the year, you know, and that can help you with taxes as well. So if you want to close the year on a good note, you have a home to sell, you have commercial to sell, give me a call, 313-819-0101. I can help you sell it in with the most money, or I can find you the home that you're looking for, and we can negotiate a good deal for you. This is really the best time to do that. You know, at the end of the year, people really want to close the year on a good note. They're motivated to sell. It's not like June and July where it was really tough to, to negotiate a deal. This is the time to do it. So if you want to buy and sell, give me a call. If you're just wondering about the value of your home, give me a call, 313-819-0101. You can go on Michigan.com, Michigan.com. There's a lot of information there as well. Again, the number is 313-819-0101. I want to thank you for being with us today. Have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget to vote. Thanks to all the people who have been on the show. Goodbye.